Here's just in, we have 3 new reports of devastating storms caused by climate change. Here's Melanie with the first one.
Hi, my name is Melanie, and I am currently reporting live from an intensifying hurricane. Climate change is intensifying hurricanes by warming oceans, which fuels stronger winds, heavier rainfall, and increased storm surge, leading to more destructive storms. As the planet warms due to human activities, oceans absorb a significant amount of heat, leading to higher sea surface temperatures. This warmer water provides more energy for hurricanes, allowing them to intensify and become stronger. As we can see here, we are in the midst of a terrible storm, which has intensified rapidly because of global warming. On to you, Yahayda.
Thank you, Melanie, for that intense report on hurricane damage. It's crazy to see how fast these systems are changing and how they're all connected. Now switching from flooding to the opposite extreme. Let's talk about drought. Drought is one of the most serious and growing threats we have facing as the climate continues to change. A drought isn't just a dry spell. It's when we go without rainfall and snow for a very long time, leading to water shortages, dried up rivers, crop damages, and massive stress on people, wildlife, and infrastructure. So, what does climate change have to do with it? A lot. Warmer temperatures from global warming causes more evaporation. That means water dries up faster from soil, plants, and lakes, and even when rainfall stays the same. So regions that are already dry, like the southwest US, are becoming drier, and the droughts are lasting longer and hitting harder. We've already seen this play out in the 2022 Western US drought that was one of the most extreme in modern history. Scientists found that it wasn't even lack of rain. Heat and evaporation were the biggest drivers. In fact, about 80% of moisture loss came from hotter temperatures, not just low rainfall. And it's not just water. Drought hits food production, electricity, public health. They lower river levels, damage crops, weakening power grids, and raise wildfire risk, all of which cost US billions every year. And here's a number that really puts it into perspective. Since 1980, drought conditions have cost the US an estimated $367 billion in losses. That's a huge price to pay. So what can we do first? Conserve water, repair leaks, use drought-tolerant landscaping, and store emergency water. Cities can invest in better water infrastructure and backup supplies. And long-term, we have to reduce greenhouse emission. The hotter it gets, the worse these droughts are going to be. All right, that's enough for me on droughts and climate change. Let's stay informed, stay prepared. Now I'm going to pass it over to Gabby, who's standing by with her report on how these dry conditions are fueling and increasing wildfires. Gabby?
Thank you, Yahayda, for informing us about the intensities of droughts. These climate change-caused droughts are the key factor causing wildfires today. When the vegetation does not receive enough precipitation, the soil lacks moisture and the plants cannot absorb any water. When everything dries up, the plants become highly flammable, therefore they are at risk of ignition and spreading fires. In the West US, an annual average temperature increase of 1 degree Celsius can increase the median burn area as much as 600%. These wildfires cover tons of land and heavily affect the people around those areas. Wildfires do not just burn forests or open plains of land, they can also spread to cities and burn down houses, businesses, and other buildings. Behind me is a photo taken from the recent Palisades wildfire in California. Although there is talk that this fire started from fireworks, there is a combination of factors that have come into play, including drought conditions, low humidity, and strong winds. This wildfire burned a total of 23,707 acres of land and caused an estimate $250 billion of damage. As a society, we must continue to make simple changes in our lives that will improve climate change and prevent more disasters like these from happening.
As we can see, climate change is very destructive, and if measures are not taken to fix it, it will only get worse from here. One thing that we can do to prevent climate change would be to use our cars less on the road. Cars burn gasoline, which is harmful for the environment, so instead we can start walking more, taking our bikes, or at least carpooling with friends to minimize the amount of cars that are on the road.
And something else we can do for the drought related issues to prevent is that we can create more water storage to capture water during the rainy season, or creating and implementing crops that can withstand dry conditions.
A third thing we can do is to conserve energy. We can do this by doing things like shutting off the lights when you leave a room, unplugging electronics that you're not using, and simply just turning down the brightness on screens.